Hello everyone, today we are back on the update 1.77 second dev server, and I thought what I would do is have a look at the new radar mechanics for some of the AA, which is pretty much in rank 6 at this point. So 4 AA have this new ability right now. It is the ZSU-23-4 or the Shilka, the M163 Vulcan, the Flak Panzer Gepard, and of course the Type 87, pretty much the Japanese Gepard. And what it is, this new mechanic that we now have in realistic battles, is a homage to one which has been in arcade for a very long time. So the basic way around it is that you have an enemy plane coming in, you can target it using the select target button that you've set either on your mouse or your keyboard, and then from there you get a lead indicator on that aircraft. Now what has always been good about this lead indicator is that it hasn't ever been 100% accurate, meaning that you still have to aim a little bit within those parameters, but it gives you a general feel of where you should aim for the aircrafts coming for you. So with this added into realistic, this is one of the first I would call mechanics which has been brought over from arcade to be used in realistic, which is kind of interesting. Now when it comes to the idea of radar, I think there may have been some better ways of doing it. Maybe if you have one of these AA machines with radar, it means that you can see some of the enemy aircraft on the minimap. I understand a lot of people don't pay attention to the minimap, but since all of these vehicles are pretty much top tier, you would hope that people do have a look at the minimap and see aircraft coming in. Instead of giving the direct advantage to the AA, you could have made it a much more supportive thing. But instead, they decided to make it much more between the AA itself and the plane coming in, and you know, that's completely fine, putting it more on the individual than the collective in this way. Now it is kind of sad that this ability is only for SPAAGs with radar, and still we are pretty limited with those vehicles in game. Obviously only 4 have it right now, but it seems like this system is being put in to be expanded upon in the future. Very much like how we had scouting in a recent update, so update 1.75 I believe, with the French light tanks coming along, making them actually useful in the early stages of realistic battles. It seems like we're getting this radar system now so it can be expanded upon in the future. One of the things that may not be that daunting to you right now, since we have the Shilka, the Vulcan, the Gepards, and the Type 87, is the fact that the rank 6 jets are coming. And what comes along with rank 6 jets is a hell of a lot more speed, a hell of a lot more firepower, and also some interesting missile choices, especially air-to-ground or guided missiles, which we may see. So adding in some kind of radar that we see here in the form of an aim assist may actually help a hell of a lot with ground against air. We already know that it is heavily weighted in the air's favor when it comes to ground realistic, because, well, unfortunately in real life that's pretty much just how it was. We've had many nerfs to bombs, we've had many realistic changes, I would call them, done to rockets, but still planes rule the roost. And with these addition of some of these attackers that I've personally been looking at rank 6, obviously I don't know if they're going to be in the game, but, you know, looking at stuff like the A10 and the SU, I believe it's the SU-25 or the SU-5, yeah, there is definitely a lot of weapon systems that those machines can hold, which worry me when it comes to absolutely annihilating a battlefield. And I feel like this is the first test of a new kind of system to be able to deal with those rank 6 jets once they're in the game, because obviously we will get some new AA along with them, or at least hopefully to try and combat them in the form of some very interesting lock-on stuff, and this might be just the first step into that arena with the Shilka, the Gepard, the 87 and the Vulcan. I just hope that this isn't the final step, because even this little step here, with the sighting assist system that we get in the form of the lead marker, it is good, but it definitely I don't think will help against how quick those jets are and how quickly and how far away they're able to really precisely hit targets from. But yeah, if you're not familiar to arcade, the system works, you pretty much target an enemy plane that is coming in. If there are two different enemy planes, you have to aim specifically at one of them, target it, and then after, as long as it's in a certain distance from you, which I believe is pretty much the range of the guns that you have, then you will get a lead marker. Now, if you shoot at where that lead marker is, you will generally shoot around about the area of where the plane is. The lead marker doesn't really take into account speed, so if a plane is turning or if a plane is diving, then it can obviously be a bit of a hindrance, the lead marker, because it can kind of throw you off. But if it's going in a straight line, then the lead marker works incredibly well. But with this said, to swap targets, what you have to do is you have to aim at the other plane and click that to select target. So let's say there is a higher priority target that you want to go after. What you have to do is you have to switch over to the other one and just target it. It's as simple as that. It's not a crazy, really complicated system. It's a very, very easy one to get a hold of. So with this said, since we don't have a lot of AAs with radar, and we do have areas in the tree that definitely require some AA right now, I'm looking at British 4.7 to 7.7, and the same goes for Russia. Russia 4.7 to 7.7, excluding the gift vehicle, because obviously not everyone has access to that. The main issues I would like to see addressed, instead of getting these new mechanics, is just finding a way to fill these gaps with useful machines, because it doesn't matter, let's say you expand it and give the Crusader AA access to this radar system. It is still not going to be useful at 5760, 63, 67, 7073, where it has to actually be used if you want any type of AA for the British, instead of the Vulcan, which obviously sits at 7.7. So this might be nice for now, for the top tier AA, to be able to deal with the jets which are zipping around. But there are definitely areas in the trees which I wish were addressed with maybe different mechanics instead of this one. It is nice to see though. It is another step into modernization, and with the new tanks that we have, we might as well upgrade some of the existing AA so they can keep in business, especially when those rank 6 jets start turning up. And don't worry, they will come. They may not be here now, but they'll definitely come. Anyway, this has just been a short demonstration on how the lead marker will work. Understand that the dev server is obviously subject to change, and what you see here is me targeting AI. So when you target players, it may be slightly different, but the general concept is exactly the same. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.